champagne and caviar, you're such a treat. Like cherries jubilee, you're oh so sweet. You whet my appetite each time we meet. Oh, Jane, it's true. I get hungry when I think of you.
Hi there, it's the Urban Peasant, and today we're going to do a fall show, right, with nice, fresh, colorful fall things, autumn things. And there's nothing more colorful than peppers and corn and all those vegetables. So what we're going to start off with, first of all, we're going to make a North American succotash. And that's a great word. You have to spell that for me too later on, but succotash is really nice. It's a big thing. It's very traditional Northeast Indian thing. But first of all, we're going to make some cornbread. Now, I'll show you how to do this, which is dead easy. And this is the authentic stuff that we're going to do right now. I want to melt some butter. So I get about 2 tablespoonfuls of butter and just melt it. I'm not going to fry with it. I'm just going to put it in there and melt it. All right? I'm going to get an egg and just crack it in there. Just see it's fine. And I'm going to put that in a bowl. I'm going to put in about a cupful of flour. Now look, you can get this kind of cup and you can get this kind of measuring cup. Doesn't matter as long as you always use the same one. So we'll just use this cup and we'll put about a cupful of flour. And see, it doesn't have to be dead accurate. And about a cupful of cornmeal. Right. Put that in there. And, of course, in a minute we'll have the melted butter. Now, what we need is baking powder. We're going to put corn in there. Cornmeal is heavy stuff, so we need more baking powder than usual. So instead of putting in, we're going to put in about 2 tablespoonfuls, which is a bit more than usual, right? And then we just spread that over the top to mix it, and then stir it all in there as quick as we can. Get it sort of mixed together so the baking powder goes all the way through. I mean, this is dead easy. Anybody, kids like to do this. Anybody can do this. And then we got melted butter. We pour that in there, and we stir that around, all right? And we need, of course, a little bit of salt. Of course we need a little bit of salt. Can't live without salt. About half a teaspoonful of salt. We'll put that in there. And just get it all nice and crummy, like that. Now, we're going to put in corn, real corn. Now, you can do this if you want to, and cut the bits off. Or you can take frozen corn and put in about half a cup. That's about a handful and 3/16. All right, and we'll just do that, stir it all in together. Now, we want to make authentic cornbread. This is from the southwest of the States, and you have to put in hot, spicy stuff. So you can put in little peppers like this, which you just cut up very fine. Or if you can't find these nice and fresh and plump in the store, then you get yourself a jar, and you cut up some of those. Now, when you pick these about with your fingers, just be very careful not to touch yourself around the eyes or the nose or the mouth or anywhere else. If you, when you've done it, because you will get very uncomfortable indeed, and you will not be socially acceptable. So in goes the peppers, like that, jalapeno peppers. All right, and it's a little tiny bit too dry. So what do we put in there? Some liquid. When things are too dry, you make them wet. We have a choice: milk, buttermilk. I'm going to put buttermilk in there because buttermilk's nice stuff. Just stir it around until it's sort of mushy, not too wet. And this is, see, everybody makes stuff with cornmeal. Italians make polenta. Spanish make nice cornbread. And there it is. Look, sort of dry, sort of stiff. All right. Then we just get a dish, and we put it into the dish, still, see how dry it is? It's still got little bits hanging on it. Don't get it too wet. And just splodge it out a little bit all over. Take it to the oven. If you get it smooth on the top, it'll sort of rise smooth on the top. And if you don't get it smooth on top, then it'll rise in peaks all over. It's your choice. I'm going to have it smooth on top because I'm going to use some of this later on for a dessert. And then you just put it in the oven. Now, when you put instant breads, quick breads, in an oven, it's usually a good thing to have it fairly high, about 425, that's 200 Celsius if you want it. Put it in there about 20 minutes and let it cook. Let it rise, let the egg do that and the baking powder do that, and suddenly it will turn into cornbread and it will be lovely. So hang in there and I'll be right back.
And tips, together with his fast, simple, and affordable recipes, create much more than a cookbook. To receive your copy, send 1645 to the Urban Peasant, P.O. Box 86630, North Vancouver, BC, V7L4L2, or charge by phone 1-800-561-9966.
What you really need for this dish is a pot big enough to bath the baby in. All right, something like this in the old days, the covered wagons hanging on the back. Well, this is what a lot of people ain't got. So what you do, I'm going to put this down here for a minute, and we get the biggest pot that you can find. I just happen to have a big one. And this is a really nice fall end of a Saturday afternoon, just sitting there playing about quietly, having a nice time. So you get the pot hot, all right, and you assemble all the fall vegetables you can think of. It doesn't matter what you do. We got corn, right? We've got all kinds of sweet potatoes. We got turnips. We got cauliflower. We got carrots. We got, what else we got? We got potatoes. We got tomatoes. All of it. There's no real recipe. It's called Succotash. Succotash, and it's a northeast United States dish that it used to be made with bear grease. Now, I bet you there's not half of you out there haven't got bear grease in the fridge. Neither have I. So what we're going to do is put some oil in there instead. I've got vegetable oil. This is a vegetable dish. It wasn't a vegetable dish when they had bear grease in there, but that's the way you go. Now, first thing we do, as usual, is to heat the pot, and the next thing to do, you don't have to hurry this. You just do it nice and gently, and you let the kids get involved. You let everybody get involved. We are going to cook supper. That's the motto of the fall, because everybody's getting into overcoats, and there's just nice stuff coming out of the closet to wear. So get lots of onions. All good stews need lots of onions, and you don't have to cut them up too fine. You just cut them up in biggish chunks and peel them off and stand there talking about it. You don't have to hurry. It's going to be ready when it's ready. You know, let them wait. Let them smell it. Let them have a good old sniff. And this is, I don't know, I wish this word succotash, you know, suck. That's what food is all about, when you take it in your mouth and get it out of your teeth. I used to do that when I was a little kid with something my mother called blancmange. It was just terrible stuff. It's sort of milk jelly, and it was just awful. And we used to get it in our mouths and go like that, in between our teeth. It did not please anybody. But succotash is a lovely word. All right, now look how big we've chopped up those onions. And first thing we do is to drop them into the pot. Hot, hot pot, all right? The bear grease in there. Now we need some other vegetables, all right? We need some turnips, and we do the same thing with the turnips. Boy, that bear grease sure spits, doesn't it? Just cut them up. You can be a little more efficient than that, but when you do cut them up, just cut them up into lumps and throw them in there, okay? Garlic. Now, there's all kinds of garlic. Look, there's the baby bear, the mama bear, and the papa bear, and garlics. Doesn't matter. If it says, if the recipe says 1 clove of garlic, how are you to know whether it means that one, which is a clove, or that one, which is a clove? Nobody knows. So let's use all of them. And tell you what I like to do when I'm making stews like this. I like to use the garlic. Watch this. This is nice. I'll break up this whole head of garlic. And because it's fall and because the garlic's fresh, I'm going to put it in there unpeeled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the big one for luck. Okay? And that one, and that one, and that one. And just let it become a garlic stew. Now, carrots. Pieces, chunks. That's what it's all about. Another carrot. Put it in there. You can clean up afterwards. That's what they make these nice countertops for. Corn. Look what we do with the corn. We cut it crosswise into pieces that are just about big enough to chew on. Right? Because you want it to cook in 15 or 20 minutes. So in goes the corn. And in goes some more corn. There. Like that. You want some peppers. Okay. We got red peppers. We'll put red peppers in there. Take out the seeds. Take out the stalk. Throw them in there. That's what you do. This is succotash. The same with golden ones. I'm going to keep right on doing this because I'm going to fill this whole part up. And so don't go away because we're going to fill the part up and you're going to see a succotash. Missed it. Missed that one. There, I made it. You don't have to be too fussy about how you cook. I'm going to put the tomatoes in now. Tomatoes are going to cook in their skins with their own juices, and then they're going to pop and spread their lovely flavors all over everywhere. So that's what we got going here is our stew. Now, the essence of this stew, the real thing about this is the fact that there were a lot of pumpkins growing everywhere. So you can put in cut up chunks of pumpkin, uncooked, just put them in like that. Or you can put in canned pumpkin if you haven't got. It's not quite as good, but it's almost as good. But what it will do is give a rich smoothness, something that you just smell that now. That's coming out of there just like nobody's business. It's the best smell you ever had in your kitchen. And this is how you get people to come and visit you. This is how you get the kids to stay home. You cook. You do it. All right, so look how that's turning into a lovely mush in there. Look at the colors all starting to mix up in there now. And everything's in big chunks. Everything's got its own identity. Now, I'm going to put in here a leek, because leeks have a unique flavor unto themselves. So we'll throw in some leeks now. And what we haven't got in there, apart from the flavors of the vegetables, is the flavors that the accents, the things that are going to really make it good. So we can put in, because it's southwest states, lots of peppers. So you can either have little hot peppers like that. If you want to put little hot peppers in, then put in 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 little hot peppers. And if you want to put in that, the grains, then you put in as much as you want. All right, this is all very personal stuff that you do. Now, give it a good old stir. Because we put peppers in there, right, we need to put in something smooth, something soft and gentle. So we'll put dill in. Now, green dill, you can get fresh dill. I haven't got any fresh dill today. If you haven't got fresh dill, put in, because it's a big pot, we'll put 2 teaspoonfuls in there, all right? And suddenly we've got the stew going. Now, it's all going nice. The pumpkin is sucking up the juices of the vegetables. So we'll put in whatever you like. You can put apple juice. I'm going to put cider in there. Put a little bit of cider in there. It'd be just great. Keep the heat up high. And we've got our succotash. Pretty well done. If you want to put in green vegetables, like broccoli, you put those in for the last 5 minutes. All right? Just break them up and put them in there. And if you want to put in a cauliflower, then you get hold of a cauliflower. See, this is how God made cauliflowers. Look, she put them all together in little bits that just come apart. Little flowers all on their own. You can just do that. Can't you think making the cauliflowers? Sit down, kids, we're going to make the cauliflowers today. Stick all these bits around that central stalk. Nicest thing to do. Now, still haven't got enough liquid in there because the pumpkin is sucking it all up. So we'll put in some more. All right? You just put it in until you got about an inch of free juice in the bottom. We didn't put in any salt. Okay. Let's put about a teaspoonful and a half. It's a big pot, see, of salt. And now we've got the saltiness. We didn't put pepper in, did we? So we'll put lots of pepper in there. And we'll stir that around too. And we'll put the lid on. And we'll just let it cook for about another 5 minutes. Now, while that's happening, let's just go see. You remember that cornbread we made? All right. Should be done. Let's get, oh, here's a thing. Let's get this out of the oven. Whoop. Oh, yeah, nice and brown around the edges. A little crunchy on the top. Now, there we've got cornbread. Now, if that wasn't too hot, it might be. I'm going to turn it over and see if it'll come out. Let's run a knife around the edge. And if it comes out, we shall be delighted. And if it doesn't come out, then we shall have egg on our faces, won't we? That's what we shall do. So we're just going to run a knife around there like that. Get hold of it. And, whoops. See, it's not going to come out. So that's okay. It'll come out when it's cold. So what we do is just cut slices of it. Like that. And hoik it out with a knife, all crumbly and hot. Spicy, because it's got peppers in it. I'll be back. I'm going to make a wonderful dessert. Right, now, the fall dessert. Okay, same things. We made the cornbread. Now, I'll show you. Got to put walnuts. Walnuts are in season in the fall. Put them on the fire with a little bit of butter, all right? And over the top, a little bit of sugar. Now, what's going to happen is that those walnuts are going to caramelize, and they will turn into, well, caramelized walnuts. So there you are. You didn't dream you were going to get that as well, did you? Caramelized walnuts are just wonderful. They get that nice nuttiness, that crispness that comes out of them, and they don't take very long. So what I'm going to do is just let them sit in there until they start to smell. And when they smell, I want you to tell me. I'll hear, and then I'll take them off the fire, and we'll put them on there, okay? Now, there's the cornbread. Now, this is the chunks of it that we cut to eat with a succotash. That's just ordinary. That's the bits off the edge. We cut this nice bit out of the middle, because the great thing about desserts is they have to look nice. So we start off with maple syrup, and we put maple syrup. If you haven't got maple syrup, you can put golden syrup on there. It won't taste like maple. It'll taste like golden, you know, the golden trees. But here we go with a little bit of maple syrup, and the maple syrup will sort of soak into the cornmeal. Now, yogurt. I know what we'll do. We'll take an apple, full stuff, take the peel out of it, cut it into little wedges, like that, and we'll stack that around it. And, well, just to make it, look at that, start to look nice. We'll put some yogurt on there. Yogurt and apples go together. Yogurt and maple syrup go together. So why not put them all together? And the maple syrup goes well with the cornbread. See, yogurt's pretty looking stuff. And this is low fat, no fuss, no muss. Here's our walnuts. Starting to, I know you didn't tell me yet, but I'm just keeping an eye on them, all right? We'll put that over there. And then if you want to make it look wonderful, you can get a little bit of apple peel. See, it's just color. And put that, let me put that down there. And that little bit on there. And caramelized walnuts, all shiny with sugar. Fish those out, put them on the top. Ha! Isn't that just lovely? That's dessert. If the recipe calls for something you just haven't got, then you can't use it. So substitute anything you've got that's different. Butter for oil, wonderful. There you go. That's the kind of thing that I like to do, and I think it's the kind of thing you really like to do, because it's simple, it's easy, and you do nice things with simple things. Now look at this succotash. This is a stew. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Isn't that wonderful? We put it in pumpkin because pumpkins are cheap. And did you ever see a bowl like that on the table? It's making something nice and different. And this is, this is if it was Italian, they'd use what they got. They'd make ratatouille. They'd make all kinds of things. We made wonderful spicy cornbread, which is great stuff to have around because it keeps and doesn't go stale. And then out of that, we also made a great dessert. Cornbread, maple syrup, a bit of caramelized walnuts. That's what we did. Nice, easy stuff. It's quick and easy and fun, and everybody can do it. That's what we like to do on the Urban Peasant. Come again, and we'll play some more.